Hello Cancer, here's a reading for you for the time beginning with the great total solar eclipse on the 21st of August 2017, which is today in a few hours. I hope I will manage to upload all the videos until the time of the eclipse. So let's begin. One more thing, please watch the video, the introduction video that I posted 2 days ago. It's in the header of the channel when you go to the main page of my channel. It's the main video, and the link is also in the description below, so check this out please. And let's begin. Let's cut your deck. Cancer. Please lead me for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Thank you. The heptapod spread, as I invented after I watched The Arrival, which is a beautiful film. I highly recommend it. So we have 8 cards in the spread. And the 9th card is at the bottom of the deck and talks about the background energy of this time. And you have 3 of Wands, which is very optimistic, and it's about bringing into your life the things you want to bring it, the things you want to bring in, the things you need, the things you desire. It's sometimes called the birth of fire, so it's conceiving something out of idea, out of passion. Also expecting and making this powerful magnetic energy working for you. This guy is expecting what the horizon is going to bring to him. He sent his ships now. He's waiting for them to return with the outcome. It's a very optimistic energy for you, Cancer. Let's look at the cards. At the very center of your reading, the card representing you and your energy. And you have 5 of Chalices, which repeats very often in the reading. I can't remember right now who had it in the same position. So 5 of Chalices. Of course, it's a sad card. It's a card of sadness, of grief, of crying over spilled milk. But I never treat it this way. I never treat it as something not necessary. I never treat it as something not welcome. This energy is also needed in your life. The energy to acquire and overcome grief, but not by repressing it, but to living it through. By living it through, you can make the best of it. Because grief and sadness show us what is worthy for us. What do we really value when it's taken away from us? Here in this deck, I also pay attention to the fact that this lady who is blowing these candles off. It's not the wind, it's not someone else, it's her. It's her decision to make it. So perhaps there's a difficult decision you're making to leave something behind, to leave something valuable, something you're attached emotionally to. But you do it in order to achieve something. You do it in order to gain something more, perhaps to learn something more. Perhaps you need to spare these candles for the future, and 2 is enough. Maybe you can't take care of 5 right now. So there are many different ways to understand this card, but don't underestimate the message of sadness, because it's very important. It's as important as joy, as important as anger. Each and every emotion you feel is an important message to you. Okay? Above you, and it means very literally what's above you, the force coming from above on you. is Four of Chalices, and 15 minutes ago Pisces had it in exactly the same place. So it's emotional boredom, being exhausted with something, not being able to recognize what's going on around you, not being able to recognize the value of it, or thinking that it's not good enough for me, I'm not interested, I'm very much into something. She's very sound asleep, and she doesn't see all these animals around her. But perhaps she will wake up when it's needed. But there's this emotional stagnation coming up from above. And water, chalices is water. It doesn't like stagnation. It likes to flow. So there's obstruction of some kind here for the water to flow. So 5 of Chalices and 4 of Chalices, like a very difficult emotional point, it seems. Let's look at the past card. What's going to the past, or where are you coming from now? 10 of Wands again. It's repeating over and over again, and I know why. It's because it's the card of Saturn in Sagittarius, and it's retrograding now. And almost every sign had this card. And this card is about gaining experience, because 10 is always the end of the cycle. So you gained much experience. And it's really hard to drag it any longer. You really want to, do something with it. Make some sense of it. And you have difficulties with this. And now, as Saturn is retrograding, you may feel it very profoundly. But it's only 4 days from now, and then it will go straight again. So this may ease up. You may feel this easing up. Just take what you need. Try to take the essence out of your experiences, no matter how hard they were or are. Because as I said, this may be a difficult point in your emotional life. But there's a need to take those experiences and treat them like golden threads to intertwine into the fabric of your life, to make it stronger, to make it better, to make it more beautiful. Okay? Oh, Saturn, tough teacher. Now, the difficult part of your reading, because this is only the state of now and where you're coming from. But now the challenge for the time to come. Your weakness in the time to come. 3 of Swords. There is a thought that isn't welcome by you. A difficult one. Pain in the ass, I would say. Or a thorn in your shoe. Something that makes you feel uneasy all the time. And you're remembering it. It doesn't always mean that you're heartbroken, that something's wrong with your heart. It rather means that there's this thought about you or about the world that you're very uneasy with. You don't accept it, you can't accept it, you can't incorporate it. Perhaps this is the part of this experience. You learned something about yourself that made you sad, that made you feel overwhelmed, and you're done. You want to go to sleep, you don't want to see anymore, you don't want to take anymore. This is the problem, that you're still refusing to accept something, some truth, because swords are truth. And there is great value in this, as you can see this dew coming from those flowers to this man, like tears, making him clear no matter how hard this thought is, it seems it would be better if you stopped fighting with it and do something more instead, do something else instead. Let's see, what can you do about this thought that is making you so uneasy? Justice. Again, justice. You're not the first one to have it. So what can you do? You can be just. You can see the truth. This card asks you to look at your life and whatever happened here, which is quite sad, as I see, from cosmic perspective. And to see that whatever happened, you reaped what you saw. There was a cause and there was effect. And what's happening now is the effect. And this may be a harsh truth, I feel, but this is truth. And you better accept it, this card says. Because this may bring balance into your life. Okay? And it seems you may expect something good out of it, right? Because this is in the shadow, these two cards. Expect positive outcome on your system, on your family, on your wealth. A tough point. But breaking through to the other side from the tough points is what we are most proud of, after all. And difficult decisions are the best ones, usually. So, as I said, demanding time, but I feel you can gain very much out of it. Let's look, what's your strength in this? Ace of Chalices, you see? Open heart, open channel. No matter how much you pierced it with this unwanted thought, unwanted truth, the cup is still full. Your heart is still open, your channel is still open, you still can give, you still can share, you still can love. This is your strength. Beautiful open heart that is ready to share and that is full of love. You see? What should you focus on? For me, this is the most important card here because it shows you where to go. It shows you the direction. Where to put your efforts into. Let's look. Seven of Swords. Again, difficult energy. Be wise, this card says. Be wise. And what you need to take into consideration is not other people's opinions, but only your intentions. Only your intentions. This is a very non-conformistic card. I know it's notorious. People say, oh, theft, treason, getting away with something without taking responsibility. Yes, it may be, but not in this position. In this position, it says, be wise and use whatever possibility, if it's not hurting anyone, if it's not against you, if it's nurturing, if you have no doubt that it's okay with your intentions, do it. Don't bother what people say. That's not important here. Do it. If your heart is pure, and I feel it is, it's pure heart here. It's your strength. So this may be a shortcut. This may be controversial. But you need to be effective here. And perhaps you need to take only what you really want, what you really need from this situation. But see the truth. Be just. Be just. It's important here. You have to be just to yourself. Be careful. This is a tricky card. I was talking about it in Scorpio reading, I think, because Scorpio also had it. When you look at this, it seems this girl is doing the wise thing because she's hiding behind the tree from the wind. The wind is blowing very strongly, and she's hiding. But my recent experience with wind, where I live, is such. About a week ago, we had a terrible storm here. A derecho it is called, I think, in Spanish. It's a hurricane, more or less. A great tempest connected with a hurricane. And it destroyed the forest in my area. All the forests, huge amounts of wood are just broken like matches. So what she's doing seems to be wise, but it's not. If the wind is too strong, this tree will kill her. So act accordingly. If the wind is strong, but the tree is standing still, okay, hide. But if the wind is very strong and you see, the trees are bowing to the ground, escape. Get away. No matter what, get away with your life. Go to the open field. Go to the young forest where the trees aren't that big and that dangerous. Act accordingly and check your intentions. Okay? This is the path to follow for you. Okay, Cancer, and now the final card, which I refuse to call the outcome, because the outcome seems something final, and it's not final, it's just a stage in your life. I would call it a Vista card, because it shows you something. It shows you something important. It may be the outcome, but you can always change the outcome. It may be something that needs to be underlined. It may be something that needs to be put in a spotlight, because otherwise you wouldn't recognize it, you wouldn't notice it, you wouldn't accept it. And that's why it shows up here. Okay? Treat it like this. The High Priestess, a very mysterious energy. She is also between the two trees, the two pillars of truth. She has the book of wisdom, but it's closed. So there's something you don't know. There's something you don't recognize, as I said. In this case, you should trust your intuition, and I think that's additional message for you in this difficult situation here, where you somehow refuse to take what life gave you. You have difficulties with this. I think you will overcome it with your open and pure heart. But here I see difficulties in acquiring and taking your experience into your life. There's this thought you don't like about yourself. The message here is be just. See yourself from above. Accept the difficult truth about yourself or about someone else or about the world. There's something about the world, the truth about the world that you refuse to accept. Accept it with open heart, because perhaps this is the best way to escape something dangerous here. To get away with something. This will work in shady way, I want to say, because of the High Priestess. There's a veil here. You don't see something. This will work paradoxically. Paradoxes are also a theme of these readings. Perhaps it's about this eclipse season, especially about solar eclipse, when you have day and then suddenly night and then day again. Paradoxes coming very close between very different energies. So everything may work otherwise. Something that was moving clockwise now moves counterclockwise. You understand? Trust your guts. Trust your gut. Trust your intuition. And really be just with yourself, because this will help you to choose wisely here and avoid a dangerous situation. This is the sad one. But here I feel there's danger here. But if you're okay with yourself, if you really accept the harsh truth about yourself, you will get away with something. And this will be good for you. This will be for your good, for your greater good. This was a difficult reading, but I like it. It makes sense. You know? It's demanding, but it makes sense. So take whatever you want to take from it. Use this time the best you can. I wish you a wonderful time, and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.